Here we are, folks. The tail end of a beastly war. Time to grasp your beer levers, take to the skies, and set our country's great plan in flight. From you Arsene Charlies to conservatory sprogs, this will be a dicey-do you don't want to miss. We're about to put a frown on the Happy Valley and show the Führer he's Fanny Adams to Blighty. We'll be joined by a few true bashers from our Yankee allies, and forget the bull, because this one's for your hometown. But you can bet your last piece of toffee that there'll be a few gongs in it for you if you carry out your duty and drop some cookies to crumble the roux. The crickets will be buzzing, but you'll be an iron beehive, taking the fight to the Luftwaffe and showing them that Britannia doesn't just have dominion over the drink, but the skies to boot. Your CO will present you with all the confidential details of this daring raid, but rest assured that he won't just be cheering you on from the lines. He'll be up there riding the horizon with you. We're all scrumming down and taking the fight on this time. When you're gliding, don't forget why you're up there. For your sweetheart waiting for you back home, and your father's pride, and for any sprogs you may have of your own, future airmen in the Royal Air Force. Gaze down on our foe and know that you are truly masters of the skies, set before you to liberate and conquer. Know your enemy, but truly know yourself. Ours is not to reason why, ours is but to rule the sky. God save the king, and God save you lot too. Thank you.
Excuse me. Thank you. All right. Calm down, chaps. So, any questions about that wonderful presentation you've just seen? No. Didn't think so. It was about as clear as pea soup. Well, that little wheel came from the desk of our Air Chief Marshal, Bomber Harris, the man himself. So take it to heart. I know the gentleman himself, and his words have a veracity to them, an honesty. And in all honesty, I agree with him. God save the king. God save you awful lot. No one else will. And most importantly, thank you. Thank you for what you are about to do. Thank you for this grand undertaking. So, suppose I better do my bit now. Eh? Well, you know me. It'll be long, slow, and boring. Or, at least that's what my wife says. But seriously, this comes from Vice Marshal Don Bennett. Now, I know he's an Australian, but let's not hold that against him. Hey, boys. It will be a Pathfinder mission. will be guiding the bombers, laying their way, ensuring that they reach their target and hit their mark. But what is that target? Well, to explain that, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Mr. Hitler, about the Third Reich, and what the devil they have been doing. Gents, if I say to you the word Lebensraum, what do you think of? No, it's not Greek, Scully. It's German. The closest translation is living room. Well, I know that's where I'd rather be right now. Sat down with my family, smoking a pipe, reading the paper. But we're here. We're here because Mr. Hitler demanded Lebensraum, living space. What do I mean? Let's take a look. Germany, after the Great War, was reduced its size, its stature. But then, in 1933, Hitler became Chancellor, which led to a desire for two more words that you may be not familiar with. His firebrand breed of nationalism called for autarky, which meant making Germany entirely self-sufficient. Building roads, the Autobahn, Volkswagen, people's car, and so on, so forth. But part of autarky required Anschluss. Anschluss, or annexation, it was about rapid expansion of the regime and in turn create more living room, Lebensraum. And so we had a situation where Mr. Hitler decided to annex the Rhineland here, down following the Rhine, all the way to Switzerland. As we know now, and Mr. Attlee knows all too well, he didn't stop there. He Anschlussed Austria, annexed them, historical allies, brothers in arms. Following that, he annexed the Sudetenland of Czechoslovakia, formerly Prussian or German lands, and then dial it up into 1939 when he pushed into Poland, where our red brothers and sisters currently try to push back. Now you might be thinking, CO, what are you talking about? We do not need a catalogue of recent events. We do not need to go over what we're doing here. And you're right. You know I like to talk. especially in a time where we are making history, gentlemen. True, our Vice Marshal Don Bennett has made history. 33 years old. I know. Bomber decided him rather than me. But he's a good chap. Now, back to the history lesson. The history that you will be making. That you will be making. That you will be making. Mr. Hitler, he annexed the Rhineland for Lebensraum, but he also knew of its great technical and industrial importance. The Ruhr Valley in the Rhine is a center for productivity, a center for industry, factory upon factory. And that is why the Vice Marshal has decreed this is our target. What we've grown to call the Happy Valley. But our plan is twofold. For we also intend to light the way from the Happy Valley to Hamburg as well. A decisive two-pronged attack, a strike from the air that will debilitate the Third Reich and bring this war to a quick and decisive end. You will be using your Mark IIs, your mosquitoes, to light the way. It's a night flight. Another risky, dangerous. That's why they're sending you lot. You represent an elite Pathfinder force. You'll be using the New Haven marking scheme, coloured markers, flares, to light the way to the industrial heart of the Nazi regime. Happy Valley, Hamburg, close targets. Now what of us? Well, for this one, we have the support of our Yankee brothers and sisters, the airborne, brave lads. Have you lost one of them? I met their commander, true gentleman, not at all what you'd expect from an American. But they are our allies. They are in this with us, in this struggle, to fight for our freedom. So I expect every single one of you to show respect to them. Trust me when I say they have earned it. On to the plan. We fly from Sussex, the arse end of the country. At least we're not going from that part. Across the channel. Just before we hit the Netherlands, you can pop down on a banana boat, if you like. We'll be hedge hopping over Dover. We're doing this for a good reason. We want to show our people, the people of Britain, that we're on the move, that we're taking the fight to Adolf. The best way to do that is to fly stringent beehive formation and hedge hop over the chalk to show solidarity, to show our people we are flying high for them. As I said, aircraft carrier just outside the Netherlands waiting for us if we need to. Otherwise, we're pushing through Belgium for this one. Now, ground forces, those army Luddites, are pushing in through France as we speak, making their way up to mainland Germany through Bavaria. We will take advantage of the trade winds. Currently, they are working in synchronicity with our sun. This will push our fleet, our naval fleet, into a good position in the triangle to counter any barrage we may encounter in the North Sea. Now, pushing on, when we reach the Happy Valley, you, our elite Pathfinder squadron, yes, that's right, that's what you are. No looks of disbelief here, please. Will lay the way for our bombers and the Yankees. The Doodle Dandies will touch down on foot, while our squadron of bombers will carry on and lay waste to the Ruhr. There is a dam in the Ruhr. We plan to bust it, to flood the entire region. The mosquito bombers will see to this. You use your night fighters to keep those crickets out of the way. The Luftwaffe will not be happy. We predict elite squadrons will be dispatched from Berlin, flying over Germany to meet us in the Ruhr. The Vice Marshal's gamble in this is as follows. He posits that they will fly as the crow, angels and angels high, having hedgehog over the chalk through Antwerp, Belgium, up to the Ruhr. We will again hedgehog, right? We'll keep low. They will arrive too late. By this time, you chaps will have flown northeast to an exposed Hamburg. The idea is that they won't be able to scramble quick enough to counter our offensive, leaving Hamburg virtually naked for us. That puts a lot of pressure on us, a lot of time sensitivity. There'll be a lot of bandits, but your bus will be okay. There's one thing that the Vice Marshal hasn't considered necessarily. The northern region, Germany, they have strategically placed anti-aircraft technology. There is the possibility that in flying across from the Happy Valley towards Hamburg, you'll be coned. If this should happen, it is imperative that you do your best to protect the bombers. They must reach their target. Our American support will by this time have made their way to mainland Germany, and they will no longer be there to offer us support. Gents. This is a big one. The biggest. I don't think that I need to highlight the importance of your efficacy in this mission. Hitler pushed for Lebensraum. He's fighting for living space. We are fighting for living. Now, before I give a rousing speech to ensure that you are successful in your mission, there are two things that I need to remind you of. The first is that I will be up there with you. I'll be going Arsene Charlie for one of you in the conservatory. Now I know, I'm an old hat or bull, but I can still fly. And bloody hell, I can still shoot. I've already parted myself up with one of you lot. A Sprog, obviously. I want to talk to them afterwards, just about the mission. The other thing that I must remind you of, this Semaphore. I've been instructed by the bomber to do a demonstration of best Semaphore practice. Apparently, you lot haven't been paying attention in your lessons. But, you know what I always say, an effective and safe takeoff is the best way to ensure an effective and safe return. All right, just let me get my flags. Believe me, rather not, but all right. A Semaphore is very useful. Besides, I know that a lot of you can't read or write, so it's good to go with the alphabet a little bit. Anyway, it's a court-martial for anyone who laughs. Can everyone see me? So, do we know the rest position? Crossed hands down. Yes? That means no message. That's right, Gunner. No message. Nobody's home, just like you. Then, arms down. So, A. Do we remember what A is? That's right. Able. We lift the arm up. This ankle. Mm-hmm. It's also 1. Now for B, can anyone guess the next movement? That's right. 90 degrees right angle. So that is B, which is Baker. Also 2. Of course C, 3. It's Charlie, our friend, our enemy. But also it is used for acknowledgement. So, correct. C for Charlie, correct. And 3. D for dog, up straight above your head. Yes? Good. Now, what do we do next? Come on, lads. We swap arms. And then we go to E, 5. Now, E, of course, is easy. It also indicates error. E is thus. Yes? Now down to F at the right angle. That's right. 6. And we say fox. Good. G, 7, which is George. H, Rebecca. Right there. Yes? H for how. Good. Please pay attention. I, up 1. This for item, which is I. Straight out like this. For J, which is jig. It also means there are letters to follow. K or O, just like this. K, of course, is king. L is for love. Do you remember what that feels like? Quiet. M is for Mike. N is for Nan. O for oboe. And then we get to P for Peter. Sorry, I'm forgetting these myself. And then Q, which is Queen. R for Roger. S for sugar. What is it? Take for tea. Take for tea. And then U, uncle. V for Victor. Then W for William, my name. And then of course we go to X for X-ray, followed by Y, I think is yoke. And finally zebra for Z. Don't laugh. Now, enumerate means numbers, and then does everyone remember what cancel is? It's that. And error or stop, yes. Like a bird. Well, I hope you all had a good laugh at that. Put those away. Right. So, the fun and games are over. Now it's time to talk. For me to talk to you. Not as your CEO, but as your friend. Now you'll know that I rather like languages. I always have. My father didn't. He didn't much like other nations, to be honest with you. I just wanted to quickly remind you that we are not at war with the German people. People are innately innocent. We are at war with an evil that has gripped people. An evil that threatens us all. Fly with dignity, strength, with courage and courtesy. I like languages. Our de facto allies, Chinese, our red brothers and sisters. Do you know what they call us? Well, I shall tell you. Yingguo. Well, I'm absolutely positive that I'm butchering the pronunciation, but Yingguo. Do you know what it means? I'm positive that it is merely a homophonic reasoning. Simply serendipity, to use the word of Horace Walpole, in language that translates to thought. It means a nation of heroes, Yingguo. And well, damn it, I can't think of a better way to describe all of you at this moment. Heroes. Heroes of our nation. I want to tell you how I really feel about this mission that I'm joining you on. About what I really think. I think that never in our country's great history has ambition been so clear, been so focused as to provide us with no decision to be made in our actions. I said that we were fighting not people, but an evil, an idea. The threat of fascism doesn't simply loom over our freedoms of today, but it threatens the new freedoms of tomorrow. It threatens the liberty to change, the right to be. I believe today we can only protect better the world. If we go through the worst, we are going to give Herr Hitler a hair trigger response. We are going to blast him as far away from Blighty as we can. We are going to light the way for the future. The power to control, to manipulate this heavy behemoth of history lies on your shoulders. It is the opportunity, the chance to write a glorious success. It would be a letter home that would never fade from memory. Remember, upon the conduct of each depends the fate of all. I believe that we fight our enemies today, for tomorrow we may find our brother. This conflict, this war, it's 1943. You can feel it. The end is close. The world has united to fight this common evil, and is proof that we cannot be divided by our differences. But it is a lesson. This will be the last war. No doubt about it. How could there be another? Like I said, we have the benefit of no decision. There is no moral, Christian, or ethical concern for us. What we are doing here is right. We fight for freedom. We fight for our future. And we fight for love. All right. Off with you. You're dismissed. Get some rest. We fly first thing. God save you all. And thank you. Would you be so kind just to wait behind for a moment? I'd like to talk to you, please. But you can stay there. It's absolutely fine. All right. With you all. Preposterous words from a preposterous preposterous man. Evan, you are the spark, Arthur. I will be flying with you tomorrow into battle. But I wanted to take this quiet to speak with you. Take today to talk of tomorrow. As said, some affluent, egregious, hyperbolic words to everyone else to raise their spirits, but I also wanted to reiterate them to you. I know that we have become close, and I know that after this we go home to our lives. Representation of our lives, perhaps not. A representation of our feelings. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to keep it stiff upper lip. It has meant a lot to me getting to know you. And I am grimly aware that the freedom that we fight for, of which I spoke, does not extend to us. And that's why, in that silly speech, I said about fighting for the freedoms of the future. For it's my hope that, though you and I will never to be together as we are now, one day others will be. Forgive me. I hope that you understand what I'm saying. After tomorrow, the change that we made, the change that we enjoyed, will be gone. We will not know one another anymore. I'm sure you understand. That's why I wanted to make it clear that I don't fight or fly for us. I fight for them. Those who will be at liberty to be who they are. That's all. We will meet again. We fly in the heavens, glide on angels' wings to return to a purgatory. But it's my hope that reaching high for the heavens will help to bring it down to earth. Heaven, get some rest. We fly first thing. Bombers counting on us. Thank you for being my friend. Oh, yeah. It's a silly little thing. Maltese cannon trinket. But I want you to have it. To remember, not just me, but us. Sleep well.